If office politics leave you feeling drained, if you feel lost between being professional and being yourself, if you're tired of trying to guess what people really mean, you're not alone. And today, I'll show you exactly how to stay centered without losing who you are. Hi, I'm Kai. Welcome to episode 11 of Career and Side Hustle Mastery. Office politics aren't always toxic, but they are always present. Every single workplace in America has them. It doesn't matter if you're on a tech team in Seattle, a corporate floor in New York, a nonprofit in Chicago, a startup in Austin, or even working remotely from home. No matter where you are, your ability to navigate people, personalities, expectations, and all those unspoken rules is just as important as your technical skills. Today, I'm going to teach you how to stay professional without losing the real you. A few years ago, I was working in an office in New York City, on the 32nd floor overlooking Midtown. One afternoon, I watched two co-workers get into a passive disagreement. It had nothing to do with their actual tasks and everything to do with politics. Not government, not drama, just communication, personalities, ego, insecurity, and unspoken expectations. It hit me right then. Every job is 50% work and 50% people, and that people part is where most professionals really struggle. Once you understand the different kinds of office politics, the workplace becomes so much easier to navigate. Let's break them down into 4 types. First, there are structural politics. This is all about the chain of command, who reports to whom, and where influence really lies. It's the formal and informal power structure of the company. Second, we have personality politics. You know this one. It's the mix of strong, outspoken personalities, the quiet ones, the competitive ones, and the collaborators. It's about how different temperaments clash or connect. Third is communication politics. This is huge. It's about the tone of an email, the timing of a message, and how your words are interpreted. A simple sentence can be read in 5 different ways depending on the receiver. And finally, there's reputation politics. This isn't just about the work you do, but how people perceive your work. It's about the story your colleagues tell about you when you're not in the room. Understanding these 4 types is your first step to protecting your peace of mind at work. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake professionals make. Most people think, to survive office politics, I have to change who I am. But that is not true. You don't need to fake a personality. You don't need to become a people pleaser, pretending to agree with everything. You don't have to force enthusiasm or tolerate unhealthy behavior just to get by. You just need to learn how to stay centered. This brings us to the professional but authentic framework. This is how you succeed in any workplace without becoming someone you're not. Step 1 is to know your identity. Ask yourself this question: what kind of professional do I want to be known as? Calm, reliable, creative, analytical, supportive. Do you want to be seen as leadership material? Defining your professional identity acts as a North Star. It guides your actions and protects you from being pulled in a million different directions. Step 2 is to communicate clearly, not emotionally. When you're writing emails, sending messages, or speaking in meetings, keep your communication short, respectful, direct, and solution. Avoid emotional language or accusations. Clarity is your power. It cuts through the noise and prevents misunderstandings. Step 3 is to build soft alliances. This isn't about political maneuvering. It's about building genuine relationships. Say hi to people in the morning. Check in on a colleague who seems stressed. Show appreciation for someone's help. Be reliable. You don't need to be best friends with everyone, but building a foundation of warmth and trust makes Gonzo a lot smoother. Step 4. This is the key: is don't react, respond. When something stressful happens, when you get that frustrating email or hear that surprising feedback, pause, take a breath. Maybe write out your initial emotional reaction, but don't send it. Give yourself time to think, and then respond calmly and strategically. Your calmness will become a core part of your professional reputation. And step 5 is to protect your energy. You do not need to attend every conversation. You don't need to fix every single issue. You definitely don't need to engage in gossip. Learning to recognize that not every battle is yours to fight is a superpower. I remember one afternoon in Seattle, a minor misunderstanding with a teammate made me question everything. I started thinking, should I be tougher? Should I be colder? Should I just act differently to fit in? But later that evening, sitting in a quiet cafe on Capitol Hill, I wrote down one sentence. I can be professional without silencing who I am. And suddenly, all that workplace politics felt so much less scary. Because the strongest professionals aren't the loudest or the most aggressive. They're the ones who stay grounded. So, as we look toward the future, what are the essential survival skills for the 2025 workplace? First is emotional regulation. It's the ability to stay composed during stress. Second is boundary communication. This means being able to say, I can get this to you by tomorrow, but I can't do it today. It's about being clear and firm, but polite. Third is positive visibility. This is sharing your wins without bragging. A simple, hey team, excited to share we hit our Q3 target is effective. Fourth is listening more than you speak. People naturally trust good listeners. And finally, the most important skill of all, consistency. Your reliability, your calm demeanor, your quality work that is the #1 predictor of long-term career success. Here's the truth you need to hear. You don't need to play games. You don't need to be someone else. You don't need to mimic the loudest person in the room. Professionalism is not about pretending. It's about being your best self, steady, respectful, grounded, and consistent. You can absolutely rise in your career while staying genuinely you. And trust me, the right workplace will value that. So here is your action challenge for today. Just choose one of these. Rewrite one email to be more calm and clear. Identify 1 or 2 people you can start building soft alliances with. Set one healthy boundary with a colleague or your manager. Decide on the professional identity you want to project, or simply remove yourself from one draining conversation. Remember, small, consistent actions are what build great reputations. If this episode helped you breathe a little easier or see office politics differently, please share it with someone who might be navigating the same challenges. And if you're ready to grow your career without losing your identity, subscribe to the channel. This was episode 11 of Career and Side Hustle Mastery. Hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, and walk with me, Kai, as we continue building a career rooted in integrity, clarity, and steady growth. Stay professional, stay grounded, and most importantly, stay